Sorry about the vision, but it's pretty dark here, and I don't think the camera was picking up anything. So I've got my iPhone torch, my iPhone light, just lighting things up here. I've got up real early, and I've come down to salmon holes, to try and catch a sunrise shoot. Basically, I was expecting a couple of people down here, but I've got the place to myself, which is awesome. I've never been here before. Had a look at it on Google Maps. There's 2 entries. I'm going in this one here, which I think is would be the west side. So we're going to be at the west end of the beach, facing east, and that's where the sun's going to be rising. In around about 45 minutes. Just see right off in the distance there, a little bit of light coming through the clouds. What we've got against us is the cloud. It is quite cloudy, and I can't see too many breaks except right off on the horizon, so maybe there might be a chance that the sun might be able to just sneak in there and we catch a little bit of light on those clouds, which would be good. A little bit of colour. This is going to be interesting because I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go, because I haven't been here before. It'd be so much better if I'd been here during the day and kind of checked it out, so I could get a composition, but we'll see how we go. This is also a fairly dangerous spot as well, so I'm going to need to be somewhat careful. There's going to be lots of rocks down there, which a lot of people fish off those rocks and have died, as says that warning there. So that's what I'm dealing with. Let's see how we go. So I found myself a location. I'm on the west end of Salmon Holes and just watching this wave come in. I'm a couple of metres back. I'm about 10 or 15 metres back from the edge of the water, but I've got the rocks in front of me, and I'm in fact sitting on a boulder, or standing on a boulder with my camera, and my bag is here as well. There's not a lot of room, so it's a little bit precarious. So hopefully you can pick up there the settings that I've got. I'm on ISO 100. I've bumped it just up to F9 now, just because there's more light, and I'm on around about half a second to a quarter of a second shutter speed, just to try and capture the waves as they come in. There's no light from the sunrise. It's far too cloudy, which is a bit of a pity, because the sky in the background is actually not all that bright. It is a little bit, but not all that bright. I don't really need a filter. I don't need a polarizer, and I don't need a filter. What I've got on my lens is the 14 to 24, and I've tried to open it up way out wide. Anyway, we'll wait for one of these waves to come in, and then we'll see whether we can capture an image. Yeah, that's nice. It's actually worked quite well. My image is done. Part of coming to a beach like this is not only, not just getting an image every time, it's also checking the place out and seeing when the conditions are a little bit better, maybe in summertime when there's a little bit more light, there might be a composition. So I just like to spend a little bit of time just checking it out. That was really good. Got a couple of images, which is excellent. Sussed out the beach, which was great. Very interesting beach. Lots of different rocks and stuff like that. So that was good. Just so happens that the clouds are starting to break up. Some of the lower clouds are starting to burn off, and the sun is starting to come through a little bit more. There's a shot. I'm headed back into Albany now, but there's a shot that I think might be a good time to take, because I'll have the sun behind me. It's of a little rock island with some greenery over the top out near the gap, and I always take a shot of it when I go and visit the gap, but we're usually there around about lunch, just after lunch. Well, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning, so the sun's going to be predominantly behind me, maybe slightly over my right shoulder. And if the sun comes out and there's still cloud behind the rock, I might be able to get a nice shot if I add a little stopper or even the big stopper and slow the water down, and get the waves or the foam around the island. So that's what I'm going to go for. We'll see how we go. Well, the gap didn't work. The sun did the right thing, but the clouds have just burnt off, so I haven't got that gloomy backdrop to the island that I wanted. So that will keep for another day. So at the moment it's back for breakfast, then planning the rest of the day. So here's a bit of a dilemma. I've got a beautiful scene here with a jetty going out, but it's a private jetty, so they don't allow just anybody onto the jetty. It's got a gate on it with wire and a padlock there. And of course the problem with this is that I would love to put a tripod and take a photo, but I can't get past that mesh. So this is where the iPhone comes in handy, even though it won't take as good a photo as the DSLR. What it will allow me to do, because it's got such a tiny lens, is to put the camera up against the, there we go, up against the gate like that. It's just starting to rain. And I can then press and take my shot. Now of course you can see that it's taking 128 shots, averaging them out. Those birds don't move too much. I'm going to get myself quite a nice shot here, and what I'm using is the frame of the gate to keep the iPhone steady. Here we go, we're nearly done. It's smoothed out that water quite nicely. I'm lucky with the sun, it doesn't need a polarizer. And there we go there. So if we say save, okay. And that's a nice shot of that scene.